Bullseye.
What's up guys, it's me Taro, so welcome back to another video on the channel. For once, it is not Supercar. We've got NXT TakeOver, Phoenix, Arizona in the waiting on Saturday, and we've got today's set of predictions for that. Of course, this is Rumble weekend, so we're going to have the Rumble predictions as well. That's going to be a separate video, likely going to be going live tomorrow around the same time, I would imagine. Current score is 14-13. We've got the lead at NXT UK TakeOver a Blackpool. We quickly look back on the predictions of that pay-per-view. We of course had scheduled Banks versus Devlin. That never happened. Finn Balor came out instead, so that was no point for either team. We had Dave Mastiff versus Eddie Dennis. I think both teams got that incorrect with Eddie Dennis. Dave Mastiff got another victory, which I'm happy with because I like Dave Mastiff, but again, no point there. Then the NXT UK tag title match where we got a point because the Grizzled Young Veterans won in an incredible match against Mustache Mountain. Definitely my favorite match of the night. Maybe one of my favorite tag team matches ever. Alongside possibly that triple threat match DIY versus Authors of Pain versus The Revival. And one of the NXT takeovers. I think it was a Chicago takeover. I'm not sure though. Tony Storm won the UK Women's title again, wrong for both sides, as we both predicted Rhea Ripley to defend. And then we had the UK title match. Belly to Belly Blogs went for Joe Coffey. We went for Pete Dunne, and the Bruiserweight did defend, so that is our 2 points. Pete Dunne and the Grizzled Young Veterans over Mustache Mountain and Joe Coffey, and that puts us in the lead. 1 point ahead only, so a lot of things can change and a lot of points up for grabs over this weekend. Maybe not just a takeover, but especially the Rumble, but more than that than tomorrow's predictions video. Today we're going to focus on TakeOver Phoenix, Arizona itself. Now the match card is on the right of your screen, as always, to my left. We're going to be opening up with Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. Our prediction right here is Matt Riddle, the King of Bros. He defeated Cassius Ohno at the last TakeOver in a very quick matchup. Now we're going to get, I would assume, a proper matchup. And of course, maybe you could say, okay, Matt Riddle got one, maybe Cassius Ohno going to get the other, but I don't think so. Matt Riddle is going to pick up momentum here. He's going to pick up steam going in. He's still very new to NXT, of course, hasn't had a lot of matches. And I think that is a proper good first big match to win. Of course, his second takeover match, because the other Cassius Ohno match does count, but I think he's going to get another one. He's technically got the numbers game as well. Should Keith Lee get involved, who's it's been a bit of Keith Lee and Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno here. So while of course Ohno could pull some shenanigans against Riddle, I don't think that's going to happen. He just did that in the match against Keith Lee on NXT TV. So I everything seems to be pointing towards Matt Riddle victory here, and that is our prediction as well. The NXT North American title will be on the line between Ricochet, the champion, and Johnny Wrestling. Johnny Gargano. Our prediction right here is the one and only Ricochet to defend the title for quite simply the reason that Johnny Gargano, in our opinion, likely going to go for the main title. So our thought process is, okay, he's going to lose here. He's going to move back towards shenanigans. Oh, well, that hasn't really ever stopped the shenanigans with Ciampa. He's going to move towards Ciampa once again, possibly for the title, possibly just a big non-title feud, but we already had that. More than that, of course, in the prediction later for the NXT title match. But the main thing here, Ricochet defends, would have had a quite short reign if you would have lost it already. Also, Adam Cole's reign not super long, so maybe Ricochet could be a bit on the longer end. I wouldn't imagine it being like 2 or 3 years, and not anywhere in the Pete Dunne level, the Pete Dunne area. But at least one more takeover is what we've got here. NXT Tag Team title, Undisputed Era versus War Raiders. Now, my personal initial thought was War Raiders gonna take this right here because they're great. I think it's coming. I am 95% sure that they're gonna win the tag team titles at one point or another. But after some discussion, after some arguing back and forth, I have come to an agreement, basically. But also generally realized that quite quickly that maybe this is not the one. Undisputed Era, of course, have set out. Adam Cole especially has said that they're gonna carry 4 belts in 2019. Now, while I don't think that is gonna happen, personally, I don't think this is where they're going to lose all the titles. As none of the others is in a title match, this would mean Undisputed Era is not moving towards the 4 belts, but is going back to zero, and that's just a huge blow towards the Undisputed Era there. Of course, the numbers game, Bobby Fish and Adam Cole are not busy in other matches, so we could see some, again, a lot of shenanigans possibly on the card in that matchup with either Adam Cole or Bobby Fish, maybe both. And War Raiders maybe picking it up at WrestleMania weekend, the takeover in was New Jersey, New York, whatever that's going to be branded as exactly. Of course, it is in New York, but it's not going to be another Brooklyn, from what I understand. So we're going to see that maybe there it is going to be the time for the War Raiders. Undisputed Era, I don't see them moving up just yet. So that is another point. Whether that's going to be towards the end of the year, Jack proposed maybe with a Fox deal to SmackDown. When that is going to happen, if that's going to be earlier maybe or a bit later, we're going to see. But I definitely agree that now is not the time for the Era to move up. And if they lose the belts, I don't know. I think that would be too much of a blow to their momentum, personally. The NXT Women's title, Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair. Again, a tough one in that. Now, our prediction or our thought process was pretty much 80% that Baszler is going to retain. Now, what my doubt in that was, of course, the undefeated streak of Bianca Belair. Now, while I don't think that's going to be like another Asuka where she's going to be going undefeated for a super long time or anything like that, it is there, and it is a focus point of her essentially character right now. And however, I think right now there's possibly no better superstar on the roster than Baszler to take that undefeated streak. And I wouldn't want to see that to go on for too long, if I'm very honest. The only way I've been thinking about this to maybe go for another match between Baszler and Belair is a DQ victory for Belair after interference by Duke and Shafir. Of course, they are the big difference makers likely in that match. Again, shenanigans left, right, and center. Might as well be NXT TakeOver shenanigans in it. We could see something happen with Duke and Shafir. So, however, another point brought up there, that could also be another way for Baszler to defend, even if Belair seems to be on the top. Of course, there's two of them. So that means Shafir could distract the referee or Duke, and the other one could interfere in the match physically, and or that the referee wouldn't see the interference, and Baszler would be able to pick up the victory off the back of it. I think our point stands that Baszler is going to defend. Our prediction is also a win for Baszler, but I wouldn't be surprised personally if it was maybe a disqualification victory for Belair, a defense for Baszler with that, and Belair keeps the undefeated streak for a bit longer. Again, not thinking that they're going to pull a Asuka 2.0 here, but maybe they're going to play this for a bit longer. And the final match on the card, NXT title, Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black for the main one. Quite simply, Ciampa is going to defend here. I think this is maybe, seemingly, with Riddle possibly the most obvious on the card, but then again, you never know what NXT is going to throw. So while I'm saying this is maybe the most obvious, this just, personally, it makes me feel like, you know what, that's probably the one that we're going to get wrong then, just because it is so obvious. Again, obvious thought process here is Black is going to go up, possibly in the Rumble. Maybe number 1 and 2 would be cool entrants to come out early, maybe even a bit of an Iron Man performance, but again, we can talk more on that on the Rumble predictions itself. But Ciampa's going to defend. He's going to have another big match at Rumble week, at Mania week, and maybe lose it there and then go up. But I don't think Ciampa's going to go up just yet. He's very close to being called up, I would assume. But this Black match is not going to lose it. Black is not going to get it back, because I think Black just quite simply hasn't got anything left to do on NXT. He's done everything, and it is time he goes up, and the Rumble is just a perfect opportunity for him to do that. Now, for the first time in the predictions, and we said that before, we might have a few bonus points here and there. We've got some on the TakeOver, and we're going to have quite a bit on the Rumble predictions video. More of that there. Of course, that's going to be some more to keep track of, but there's bonus points on the line. For TakeOver, we've decided to give out a possible 2 bonus points for 2 picks on who's going to show up in the crowd for TakeOver. Now, we specified there's not going to be like a crowd member, a guy that's always in the front row. Something that is going to go with like a nameplate being the announcers addressing him and all that nonsense. Like Keith Lee has gotten back in the name, and Riddle has got that treatment. And a lot of people in the past, or even that Neville appearance at one point in the crowd where he just didn't flinch or anything like that. Those kind of things. Doesn't have to be a new superstar. It could be for example, Vince McMahon, just because that's the most likely. That is not going to happen. However, after the chance at NXT TakeOver UK, who knows if he's going to show up just for the bands. I wouldn't be too surprised if I'm very honest. But yeah, it could be anyone, a current roster superstar, maybe even celebrities or anything like that. Now, we're trying to think, main roster-wise, there's not too much that would make sense. The only thing that I could think of was Ronda Rousey, possibly, to basically for the Baszler matchup, because it would make sense in terms of the friendship and all that, to watch that matchup. But other than that, no main roster superstar makes sense within a storyline or like a past, a shared past or anything like that. Would be probably something random like a Balor, because he was at NXT UK as well, but he hasn't got anything to do with the guys on the actual card or something like that. So we didn't go for any of them. I think there's a few, not obvious ones, but there's a few ones that, of course, in talks or have signed with WWE for the Performance Center, for NXT, generally speaking, rumors to sign and all that, that are going to be in the minds of people, and we've really gone for the obvious ones there. Ilya Dragunov has been signed for WWE, reportedly not for the UK Performance Center, as a lot of people would have assumed, but for the American NXT or Performance Center in the first place. So maybe him. Of course, this all depends. My main worry about that is, when are they going to plan to use all these people? Because they might have signed 10 people at once, but if they're only going to plan to use 3 of them and the rest is going to stick at the Performance Center for a while, they might not be in the crowd. Dragunov he's an incredible superstar, has shown that over the independent scene, especially WXW, for example. So I can definitely see him being introduced to the roster quite quickly, maybe in a role kind of like Dominik Dijakovic, or Dijakovic, of course, the former Donovan Dijak. He's been very, very sporadically appearing on NXT, maybe something like that for Dragunov for now, and then moving towards a more regular role. So Dragunov is one of our picks. The other one is the former New Japan Junior Heavyweight Champion Kushida. Again, very, very much in the talk for NXT for years now, and he's announced that he's going to be parting ways with New Japan, which pretty much makes you think that he's going to join NXT, because that seems to be that one thing that he wants to do, that WWE wanted him to do and all that. So Kushida could be a very likely one. It could be something that somebody that fits in straight away. It doesn't have to go through Performance Center or anything like that. Like, maybe you could say, for some people that have traveled the UK independent scene that are maybe not as crafted in their skill, Kushida getting on in age as well, I think is in his early to mid 30s, so not the youngest anymore, even though you might think he is. So definitely somebody that would slot in very quickly, I would assume. So those are 2 picks, the Dragunov and Kushida. If both appear, we're going to get 2 points. If neither appear, 0. If one appears, 1 point, so on and so forth. I'm going to see if I'm sure we're going to get crowds, but we always do. And if it's just a main roster superstar, then that's going to be the case. But that is our predictions for NXT TakeOver Phoenix, Arizona. Again, tomorrow is going to be the Royal Rumble. Hope you guys are enjoying the weekend, are looking forward to those 2 events, and possibly watching them live, or possibly be watching TakeOver Phoenix, Arizona live on there, down there, twitch.tv/Tyroxes. Check that out. Go drop it a follow if you haven't already. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your predictions down below as well to see where you differ. Maybe some different thoughts if you have got a specific reason why you differ on one of the predictions. Leave that in predictions or in the comments rather down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more of these videos and daily Supercard content as well. All the support is very, very much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until the next one, I'm out. Have a good one and peace.